Hello, Planeswalkers. I wanted to give my opinion about this Magic 30th anniversary deal. But first, I want to give a shout out to 3 channels, Rudy, UMU, and MtG Opinion. So check out their channels. They're awesome. Rudy is Alpha Investments, of course. First of all, Dr. Cox didn't need to tell his force to make money at Hasbro during a recession. Hasbro stock is not even doing the worst out of all my stocks. All stocks are down right now. So they just had to go with that. Like, as Rudy says, all ships will go up, and they'll go up with the rest of them, right? They're not doing as bad as Netflix, yeah, I bought into that, and they're not doing as bad as AMD, and I still have no regret because my computer with the Ryzen is just whooping up on games, so I have no regret investing in AMD. So what I'll do with Netflix and AMD and a biotech company that's down about 50% right now, more than Hasbro, is buy more of it. Well, the price is low and dollar average, right? So all of a sudden, if I buy an equal number of shares, if I'm doing the math right, instead of being down 50%, I'm down 25%. All right, so that's the way I'm going to approach that. The people in the video with Rosewater, I originally recorded that with my phone because they look so sheepish and they reminded me of something. When I first started making videos on YouTube, I made a video, it's probably backwards, it's a Gibson SG, in case you can't tell. A guy got on and talked about the Gibson IP. And they went to court for the opposite reason that people might consider going to court against Wizards of the Coast, right? So what happened with that is they said that this little bookend was an iconic mark, and they tried to sue for the shape of their Les Paul Flying V and SG guitars, and they didn't get anywhere. Again, their IP was too weak, just like Wizards of the Coast's IP is too weak. They couldn't win. Judge threw it out of court, cost them a lot of money. They were already doing bad, and that cost them a lot of money, so that wasn't good. And I hope this doesn't happen, since I'm an investor in Hasbro. I hope that this doesn't happen to Wizards. That'll end up costing them a lot of money to defend it. Okay, but probably they don't have a case after all. I knew because the IP was so weak in Magic the Gathering that when I went dressed as Soren Markov for Halloween, I would have to tell absolutely everyone who I was. And sure enough, I did. Nobody knew who I was. Their IP is so weak at Wizards that they couldn't even sue Blizzard when Blizzard blatantly copied everything about their game in World of Warcraft. Absolutely everything. Every day I'm amazed at how much they copied. As I play WoW, I'm amazed at how much they copied out of Magic. So if you're going to sue somebody, as Gibson learned, you have to do it right away. They couldn't do it 40 years later or whatever it was. Sometime in the 50s, they created the Les Paul. They couldn't sue these guitar companies that much after the fact. It just wouldn't work. Also, the players would have had to sue Wizards right after Chronicles, right as soon as they violated it, right? So that's not going to work. And then I want to talk about the price of the reserve list and what I'm going to do. So I'm thankful to not only UMU for talking to me about IP law and really increasing my understanding of that, because he's an IP lawyer, intellectual property. But I also want to thank MtG Moxman for keeping me posted on all these cards that are going down on the reserve list. Thank you very much. I love your channels, guys. And I was teaching middle school math at the time that World of Warcraft became a thing. It was probably around, sometime in the 90s, maybe 96 or whatever I was in. So probably I could have got some Black Lotuses at the time. Probably some of my kids would have given them to me for being such a good math teacher, right? But I didn't. I didn't buy Magic at the time, okay? So I missed it, all right? So I'm happy with buying a few beta and alpha and unlimited and reserved commons or whatever I can afford. I'm happy with that because I missed the boat on it. But I don't want to miss the boat on this Brothers War. And in a way, it's kind of changing things. So I'm going to open up Brothers War and just play with it, okay? Just play the game and make videos about the decks that I build. And play with it and have a lot of fun. In a way, I'm relieved that I don't have to just put this in storage because it can potentially make so much money as sealed product. So I'm glad not to have to go there. I've been saving sealed product since Ikoria, and I even have some older sets than that. So I'm just going to go back. No, I'm not going to go back to Ikoria because that's worth so much sealed. First edition, you know, printed in Japan. I'm not going to go back to that right away, but I'm going to open my Dominaria United and build some decks and make some videos and have some fun with it. And then I'm going to go back to the next set, Streets of New Capenna, and that, and Double Masters 2022, while it's still relevant, and make some decks with those sets and have some fun. So I'm intending on buying the new Brothers War set, okay? I don't know if I'll be able to buy the Commander's decks and the Collector's Edition and the set and the draft and all that stuff. I don't know if I'll be able to afford that because I've had some time off, work being sick. So I don't know if I'll be able to afford all that, but I at least want to go in on a bundle or something, maybe a bundle on a draft or something, so I have something for that set, because the best time to buy it is when it's just put out, right? It's always going to cost more later on. So unfortunately, I didn't get involved with Magic back in the 90s, which I wish I would have, but that stuff was so hard to find anyways. Probably wouldn't have. And you'll be seeing my videos. The next videos I want to make about the old cards are Scars of Mirrodin, because it's so relevant right now. I want to build some decks with Scars of Mirrodin. For red, I want to build a Phyrexian and a Mirrodin deck, and for all the colors. So those will be the next videos that you see for me. So I'm just going to stay the course, as Rudy used to say, and just pick up enough cards for me. You know, I'm not going to worry about saving them because I'll be able to buy them later on for cheaper. And then maybe I'll save those that I buy later on for cheaper when they go away, which they eventually will, and sell those for a profit. So thanks for listening. If you're still here on this video, thanks for the view time. I really appreciate it. And have a good day. Take care, Planeswalkers.